Yeah, I was thinking about just hitting the record on you again.
We're live, everybody, just so you know.
It's funnier that way.
Mm-hmm.
You just get the good conversations going, and they don't even know they're being watched by millions of comic book readers.
Millions. And some of those millions may not even know who Brooks or Mike are, you know? So
Yeah, shit.
so it's a little weird
know.
when we just pop in live and we're just
No explanation.
I don't even know who I am.
blah blah blah.
But what's going on? You guys have a good Saturday?
Side.
Yeah, I hear you.
I had a good Saturday.
I was driving a tractor all day.
Yeah, you've been on the tractor?
Yep. Doing the last cutting the hay up here.
Breaking down the harvest for getting ready for winter.
Yep.
He's building the Wicker Man right now. No, I had a good day, man. A guy in the chat, Sam Fett, actually made it up to Huntsville from Montgomery and came to my shop, and I got to meet him, and he bought some stuff. He told me some really awesome stuff about how important the channel was, and he touched me, and it was whoa, that sounded weird. He touched my soul. He touched my heart, and I had a good time meeting him, and we had a great day at work. The Heat are getting their asses whipped by the Celtics, but they keep coming up to almost back, but no, I've had a good day. Yankees are destroying the Red Sox right now, so hell yeah, I've had a great day.
That's awesome. You met Sam Fett. That's one of the great guys in this community, man.
Hell yeah, he posted a picture up in the PCP Army, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, you might as well join the PCP Army. Everybody here is a part of it except for Brooks, because Brooks is smart and doesn't have a Facebook.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a Facebook too if I could choose to not have one.
Brooks has a fan page though that I made him called Brooks the Magnificent.
That still exists?
It does.
Yeah.
We didn't take the headshots to update it.
Well, what's crazy is that his hair's kind of like looks the same right now, doesn't it? Because it's the same length, but I'd never post on it. My initial intention was that you could send me any random thought you had, Brooks, and I would post it up for you, or I would just make shit up for you. And what's crazy is that every once in a while, somebody new, like at least weekly, a couple new people find it and like that page.
Like they don't realize that those are from like years and years ago.
Well, occasionally I do post like, "Hey, I'm going live tonight with the PCP crew," and I'll share the link or something. Or I'll say, "Brooks is going live tonight," like, because I think Brooks is too beyond being able to run it and like running his own Facebook page. Like you're like Madonna, you know what I'm saying? Where like a team of people have to run your social media. That's what I feel.
Madonna Brooks.
Well, if I was in charge of it, I'd just ignore it, and it would just be neglected.
Wow.
That's why I never started one, because like I don't think I'd put the time into it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not worth it.
It's honestly where I am the most active on social media. Like if you're trying to get in touch with me through social media, that's probably the best way. And I hate saying that because I really don't like Facebook that much. Yeah. I don't like much of social media. My favorite is actually Instagram. And that's a decent place to get, but like Instagram and Twitter and even Facebook, like if people aren't like if you don't follow certain people and they send you a message, they'll put it in this other inbox that I never fucking check. And I'll check and I'll have messages from fucking months ago. And I'll be like, oh shit. My bad.
That happens too with the private ones.
Yeah.
I'll have to, I don't know why. Sometimes I gotta accept a new person to message me. Sometimes I don't see it for like a week.
Is that your AC again?
I don't know.
It's gone now. Okay, whatever. Who cares?
Oh, mine wouldn't have been like, but I have it going, but it doesn't. No, you guys never say anything about it. It's only when I turn it on after I've already like logged in. If I like log in with the mic on, it'll be fine. It's like once I like put it on when the mic's already on. I don't know why. It just maybe doesn't pick up the background.
Yeah. You got like a window unit, I guess?
Yeah.
I guess in Ohio, you guys don't really, most people don't probably have central air
No,
conditioning.
we do. We do.
Okay.
It's just my room gets so hot.
I
Like,
got you.
I got like in my closet, I got like a crawl space. And dude, in the summer, man, like literally all that damn heat just pours into my room. Like there's days when it's so hot, you'll walk into my door, you feel that humid air like hit you, like it's like a damn wave of it. It's like you can't really describe it until you like feel it. It's freaking crazy, dude. And so I put like everyone actually. Most houses get hotter upstairs, you know, just because the heat rises. But
Yeah.
we do have the central air, but we got they all of the rooms, yeah, all the rooms have the AC windows in it. But for years we didn't. We just got lucky with my grandpa that gave us a few. So they really comes in clutch though, and you can actually enjoy it and not literally like suffer on a 95-degree day.
Yeah, when I lived with John, my room was over the garage, and he would have the AC at 68 and my room would be like 78. And it was just like terrible, man.
Hey, Robbie.
Hey, Mike.
Just got a message about a guy wanting to sell some Supernatural figures.
Right.
Well, you know, I've been waiting on those.
So
one day to come through. I mean, I'm kind of behind on my stuff right now, but sure, let's buy them.
Yeah, more
Do it.
more He-Man, Battle Beasts, and Supernatural figures.
Battle Beasts.
Yep.
I fucking loved Battle Beasts, man.
I've seen this guy's collection of Battle Beasts before, and it's pretty good. So
that's awesome. Yeah, we just got in a Supernaturals. I don't know if Brooks or Dylan remember this, but there were these like Supernatural themed toy line that utilized holograms like crazy. And they're amazing. They're so amazing. God. And we never see them. They never come through. Never come through.
That seems familiar. I seem to remember something about that, but I can't quite.
I know, me
place
too.
it in my mind.
Oh, they're dope. They're dope. They really are. But yeah, hell yeah, that's exciting. I saw somebody asking what the best horror book, like if we read any good horror books this week. Yeah, those are Supernaturals right there. I guess Stillwater. Did anything else horror come out this week that I'm forgetting about?
I don't think so.
Stillwater was dope, man. That's kind of horror.
Yeah.
That's horror.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a certain movie that I just picked up today.
Oh, Old Haunts and Devil's Highway and Dead Day. Got
this because my buddy told me. He was like, yeah, I was at Walmart and they had American Werewolf in London for $10. I was like, $10? I'm going to go get it because I don't have it anymore. And it's the restored edition or whatnot. And it was $12, but whatever. Fucking, I hate it when people do that shit. They do that all the time. I see people do that in my shop. They'll be like, how much is this? We'll be like $13. They'll be like, cool, it's only $10. I'm like, what? No, it's 13. Anyway. Old Haunts is good. It wasn't as good as the previous issue, but that's been a solid book, kind of like Sopranos meets a ghost story.
Yeah, the artwork makes it I think a list steps it up a little bit. Like if the artwork wasn't there, you'd be like, it's a decent story, but the artwork gives it that vibe, you know, and you're like,
oh yeah. There were a lot more horror. I forgot about some of these. The Possessed and Dead Day. Yeah, those were...
I'm behind because I was trying to read like some of Nail Biter and stuff, and I gotta read those tomorrow. I gotta work too, and I've been getting behind bad, so I got a lot of catching up to do.
Shame.
I know.
Low to shame.
Stillwater though was awesome. I read that.
I have not read that. I'm behind on so much.
I read it's pretty good. I like it. It's interesting.
It was
one of those rare picks of the weeks that Brooks actually picked up. Usually Brooks like Robbie liked it. Screw it.
You know what? It's
I pick up stuff you recommend all the time. Like I'd like to like actually find like all the just #1 issues of certain books that you recommended to me that I have.
Yeah.
I wonder how thick a stack that would be.
Wonder how much money you're sitting on.
You might have some that are worth money.
Probably.
Do you have Something Is Killing the Children #1?
No, I didn't get that one.
You shoulda. Should listen to me, Brooks. Station.
You never said anything about that one.
Oh,
me,
wait.
Personally.
Well, you just started watching the videos like a couple months ago, though, right?
Yeah.
Wow. That was a couple months ago.
Brooks doesn't give a shit about what I do. Brooks is like, what?
Sure. I'll watch your review to like so I know what to look for next day. You don't cover everything I read, so.
I know, man. I don't cover everything. I don't read Sonic the Hedgehog. You're right about that.
Hey, you are reading Mega Man.
Brooks, though, is like the weekly comic book review is pretty much every time I see Robbie.
Shit. You know that book, though, Stillwater? I think it's one of those books where they kind of give away the first issue in the solicits, but I think it's gonna like you're not gonna like issue 2 and probably by the time you get to issue 3, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Like I did not think it was gonna go this way.
I'm sure, right? I hope so. And
with Chip too, you know that dude's fucking nuts.
Yeah, right. And I had one person comment and being like, "Wait a second. So you're saying that from a town in which nobody dies, somebody died and left him an inheritance?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, but that's part of he's being lured there for some reason. It's a lie. It's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?"
Yeah.
That's something that you don't quite get from that. But yeah, I loved it. And it's structurally, it is American Werewolf in London. Like it's two buddies cutting up, going to a place that they're unfamiliar with. They meet some weird people. One of them gets got, and now we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll turn into a werewolf. But probably
think about that.
Oh yeah, it's structured just like it if you really think about it, right?
Yeah.
Two buddies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep.
I think that's dope.
Yeah,
next week, the book I'm most looking forward to is probably. I got to look at the full list. I haven't looked at the full list. But right now, I just grabbed my DC stuff today, and Speed Metal is something I'm really looking forward to. And we get Williamson's last issue of The Flash too, which is kind of bittersweet. So, and yeah, Venom's this week, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Venom's dope, man.
Yeah, I'm definitely hyped for that and Speed Metal. That shit's gonna be fire. I don't even know if I read. Yeah, I didn't even read the Justice League tie-in though yet. I got that Catwoman. I'm glad I did. I had no idea Ram V was on that too. That makes me even more hyped. So I was looking at it. I'm like, oh shit, that shit was like $5.99. It was thicker and it was a cardstock. I was like, that's dope.
At least Rob did all 3 of the stories.
Yeah, that is sick. I'm disappointed with this though. Like reprints, come on.
Yeah, but they're very important, man. Those reprints are important. And I bet, Dylan, that you've never read those 2 issues of Hulk.
Probably not.
Yeah, so you should read it.
So, yeah, I will. But when you told me they were reprints, I'm like, man, that's kind of a little cash grab. They could have done them like true believers and just did $1 a piece, but they know most people probably wouldn't buy them.
Yeah,
is the thing, so that's why they did it that way.
There is new material in there, but it's only like 5 or 6 pages. But it's a framing sequence. But I think if you're into the whole run, it's worth picking up, especially if you haven't read those issues. It was Incredible Hulk -1, and something that Mantlo did. I don't remember. I think it was a Marvel fanfare or something. I don't remember.
Is Venom 28 the one coming out this week?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I got into an argument with a lady that called the shop saying that it was already out, and I was like, I don't think so. She was like,
no. You know, on my website too, I had written it down, and last week I thought I was supposed to get Venom 28, and I was like, isn't I? And he's like, no, next week, and I was like, oh, okay. So it's just pushbacks, and some of these websites still ain't up to date. You know, like.
That's what I thought, because that's what I remember y'all talking about. So.
Yeah. Shit, we would Robbie. That would have been one of the first Robbie's talking about with Marvel, because I don't think Marvel really had. I mean, they had the Immortal Hulk, but And well, they had the X-Men stuff, so
The X-Men stuff was launched for Marvel this week, man. Like what Fable just said. Fable says my interest has increased for Ten of Swords, and yes,
yeah.
like and also issue 12. We found out today. I didn't realize this, but like all of a sudden people are calling about this damn book. This one guy called, wanted to buy every copy of X-Men number 12 we had, and we were like, "What's going on?" And this book is already like a $15-$20 book right now.
That's what that Fable told me that too. I'm like, really? And it's
Yeah.
funny. I heard someone saying they were like, nobody's. It's funny. None of these X-Men books are spiking at all. But,
Yeah,
you know,
someone said that. Was that last week on the stream,
yeah,
right?
I couldn't remember. I can't remember who. And I was like, wow. I was telling Fable, I was like, that's funny. And now I think that's spiking. And he said something about X-Men 2. I don't know what that is, what it was though. But I was like, oh, well, that's cool. I got it.
Is that the first time the Summoner showed up was 2? I don't know. I don't remember.
I think that is what it is. Because it is I think whatever it is probably related to what happened in issue 12 of X-Men.
Because you find out some things.
Yeah. That's why
but it is crazy. I mentioned that today. I was like, somebody had said, like, it's crazy that with Thor and Venom spiking every time there's a new thing introduced, but that hasn't been going on with X-Men, and then it happens. Yeah. So, but if you notice, most of us here on the YouTube community were starting to get a little bit of a kind of bored with the X-Men books. Like, not me, but like it felt like they were kind of right, especially the shutdown. Like, if you honestly think about it, we were supposed to get these issues of X-Men that we got this week in the middle of the summer or in May, so that would have been a much quicker ramp up into it, right? But y'all, like, my hype is so exciting. Like, when they did Powers of 10 and House of X, and they would have like what's coming up in X-Men, and they would have certain ones in red. Those wound up being like the most important ones. When you find out about the resurrection protocols, when you find out about the many lives of Moira, those were red issues. Since that stuff's wrapped up, we haven't had any of those red issues. And this Ten of Swords creation one shot is a red issue. So they're about to drop something major. And so far, when Hickman's done something major in the X-Men, it's blown up. So, hell yeah. I'm excited.
I just told my shop to put me down for all of them because I've been reading it all the way through. I was like, dude, I've fallen behind, but that's because of COVID. It wasn't because I got bored. I actually been loving the X-Men stuff. I did drop Excalibur at 6 though, but once you were raving about how it ties in with the Apocalypse stuff is why I wanted to stay on Excalibur, but I was like, dude, I gotta drop something. It was getting, all those stories was getting much, and Excalibur I was just always confused by. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna drop it. But once you said about 12 Excalibur and X-Men, I was like, man, let me get a copy just to read. So when I catch back up, which I'm gonna have to sit down and catch up like one of these weekends. It wouldn't be hard. I think I'm only behind like maybe 4 issues on each title. It's nothing that bad. Yeah, I think it's about 4 issues on each title. So,
Brooks, you read the X-Men stuff. You like the X-Men stuff this week, Brooks?
Yeah, I've been liking it a lot actually. Like, I've liked all the X books. Like, I've been liking Excalibur. A lot of people have been kind of shitting on Excalibur. I've been liking Excalibur a lot, actually. The New Mutants has been pretty good. X-Force is great.
See, I just don't. I'm not like, I don't know anything about those characters, so that's why I can't I like the concept of Excalibur. It's just the characters. Everyone's got their favorites. So.
Yeah. Well, this Excalibur actually has like a good bit of like 90s X-Men. It's got Gambit and Rogue, Jubilee.
Yeah. Yeah, I did
a little more well-known characters in this Excalibur than most other iterations.
Yeah.
I think.
I did like the Gambit and Jubilee or Gambit and Rogue stuff they had going on before I dropped it at issue 6.
X Factor has been pretty good too, actually. I've been digging X Factor.
X Factor, I didn't pick any of those up.
There's only 3 of them so far.
A lot of people were hating on New Mutants, but I've loved that run.
New Mutants kind of hit a low, but I think it's coming back. I think.
Yeah, It did slow down, but I think it. I know I haven't read issue 12, but I know Robbie said that shit was awesome. So
yeah, you should you'll really like it because
That was the one with Magic going to those guys that were doxing mutants.
Yeah, and Glob's
Yeah.
arc in that was really good.
Yeah.
Man.
So when did the trades come out for these?
They've already started coming out. So like all of the first wave trades have come out for like there's a volume 1 of X-Men, Marauders, X-Force, all of those, right? And the rest. And then they also do those Dawn of X trades in which they actually are they're doing 2 sets of trades. One where the series are collected in and of themselves, and then one where it's Dawn of X volume 1, and that one has like Marauders number 1, X-Men number 1, X-Force, all the number 1s. And then volume 2 has all the number 2s, and that's kind of I think they work better as their own series. All in one press.
I've seen the Dawn of X stuff in the shop because I'm behind, but it's like I don't want to read books that way. Like it's a cool idea, I appreciate it, but I just want to read all of the one. Like I just want to read Excalibur and Marauders and just get caught up.
I think at this point, especially because of the Diamond shutdown, a reread for X-Men fans that are following it, I think a reread is necessary at this point, especially now that next week it's about to fucking explode. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really pumped. I don't have time to reread right now. I wish I'd God. Well, I'm trying to read Spawn. I'm trying to read Chew. I just grabbed Battle Chasers for some damn reason. I don't know. You guys want to see real quick? I haven't read these yet. You want to see the DC books I picked up for this next week?
Sure.
There's Action, a book I'm not liking at all, but I haven't read any of these yet. But maybe I'll talk about them tomorrow on Rock and Roll Live.
The Trench or Terror from the Trench.
The Trench coming back.
Yeah, it's kind of a filler issue.
Is it?
Get the Batgirl.
Ooh, I love that that orange Joker War logo.
Yeah, that's cool.
I loved it. I know Scarf had said he felt like it's a little let down the Joker War stuff, but I've been loving the Joker War stuff.
I like the main book.
Yeah, me too. To be honest,
it's Shazam right there.
And it's not written by Jeff Johns, is it?
No, his last issue was the last issue, but this is the final issue. It's Jeff Loveness though, and his last tie-ins were really good, so I'm excited. Here's DC's cover. DC's cover of the week right there.
Yeah. I've been wanting to see if you got like issues 2 through 9 or whatever, a Suicide Squad. I got issue 1.
I'll have to check, but we don't have many of them. There's Justice League Dark. Speaking of Rom V, there's Williamson's last issue of Flash.
Wow, that's an awesome cover.
There's Speed Metal.
Nice. I love that.
I also picked up to read because I hear a lot of good things about this Canopus book. So I got a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. And Dylan, just to weird stretch you.
Wow.
There it is, my brother.
Ooh, I love it. I love that cover so much.
That's good. It's a good cover.
It really is. I love it. I love crocodiles and alligators, man. They're so cool.
It seems though like the most important X books have actually turned out to be. I'm not saying the best, but the most important as far as leading into like what's coming up in Ten of Swords is X-Men and Excalibur. Yeah. Excalibur turns out to be one of the most important ones. And I think X-Force is very important. Now Cable is tied in a lot. They all are going to continue their own stories though. So you are going to have to deal with the idea as you're reading this book to book that, oh man, I'm not following X Factor, whatever. But the majority of the X-Men books are really, really solid, I think.
Yeah.
Martyrs, that's another important one.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's that? I gotta have you eventually. I forgot. I thought I messaged you, but Coffin Bound. I want you to find those out. If you do, if not, I'll find them. But check if you got those second volume issues of Coffin Bound. You probably won't have Suicide Squad.
I know I don't have the newest issue, and I don't think I have an issue 5, but I'll see if they're still orderable. Send me a message later on, man. I won't remember this when I go on Monday.
Because I'm probably gonna just get, like I told you, pull the Excalibur. I'll probably get what you got together now, because I don't want to rack up another like $80 bill. I'd rather try to keep it in smaller chunks, just not hurt my pocket as much, man. But
yeah, and you got that Ghostface figure too.
yeah, exactly. That's why I know I'm probably gonna be at like 60 already, if not like 65, 70. That's why
I'm gonna have to charge you $40 for the It Eats What Feeds It second print.
What the fuck? I still get the first print for free though, right?
No, that's not part of the deal. No, I'm just joking.
Oh yeah, I know, dude. Dude, Robbie and Bob and all you guys keep bragging about Suicide Squad. I'm like, I jumped in it for Tom Taylor. I have the issue 1. That's why I said I just need like 2 through whatever. And I should have stuck with it, man. Like that was the first Suicide Squad book I've ever read too. So I was like, some of these characters you don't know. And it started off with a bunch. You saw in the beginning. It starts off with a bunch of weird characters, and I was really in it for like. What is it? Shark Man or whatever his name is. King Shark, yeah, and Harley Quinn. But
yeah, it's a good book. It's only got a couple issues left, I guess.
Yeah,
10 and then 11 after this one. But yeah, Tom Taylor's got a bright future though, so he's going to get on. He's going to get on a big anchored book for what soon.
I still haven't even read this yet, dude. I got to read it. That's how behind I am, man. I don't know if it's worth
the same boat. I haven't read it yet either.
We got ours in, Mike. By the way,
sweet.
The reorder, we got them in. So anyway, what's up? Hey, here's something I do want to say. Not to hijack the stream or anything, but last night at Horror Fest, we covered Cabin in the Woods, right? And we ranted and raved about it, and it was Brooks' first time seeing it. Mike wasn't there. Mike, what are your overall thoughts on Cabin in the Woods, and what would you rate it?
I don't think I've seen it all the way through. It's one of those, like, I didn't realize that I always thought it was just a slasher. I didn't realize that it was like this big sci-fi, all these mutant or monsters underground fighting in caves. So it sounds pretty cool. I'm definitely going to check it out, but like I said, I haven't seen it yet.
You're going to join us next week for Near Dark, though, right?
Yeah, I just got to find a copy of that because that thing is not available to watch anywhere.
No, well,
Jay Stirk has my Blu-ray. He's watched it, and then I got to watch it. In fact, Brooks, you just want to come over to my place Monday and watch it with me?
All right.
And then I can hand it off to Mike, and then he can watch it.
That's at what time Monday? After work?
Oh, what? You want to come over too and watch it?
Sure, why not?
Okay. You two want to just come over Monday night and watch Near Dark and play Friday the 13th on NES?
Can we live stream it?
Not a bad night. Dude, I had a copy too. I was looking at for like $20 and it sold so quick because that shit sells. Even the DVD goes for like $30. Blu-ray's like 40. I think I saw somebody with a Blu-ray for like 45 and I was like, ugh.
That's why when a horror movie comes out on Blu-ray in a nice new set that you want, you just got to get it. That's why we have to get that Friday the 13th one.
Exactly.
Is it Near Dark?
Because it'll be gone.
Criterion?
No.
I'm debating. I want to get that Shivers. I heard that's David Cronenberg's first movie. But yeah, that's why I'm getting that box set too, because like I wish I could have got the Halloween box set, and now I can't because it's worth like fucking $500.
Yeah.
But
look at Beeler, bro date night. It is. You guys are gonna come over to my place to play Nintendo and watch a romantic vampire western.
It used to just be like this every evening for us back in the day.
Yeah, it would actually.
My early 20s, that was like every evening was like hang out, smoke, watch TV or watch a movie or play a game.
Listen to a record.
Yep.
Got to deal with creamsicle shit.
A record that tells you it's an hour long, but is actually only like 40-some minutes.
Yeah, well, we're the Enigma hour.
And then you get so high you think you went through a time warp somehow.
What Brooks is talking about, good night, Kevin. What Brooks is talking about is, okay, so in our early 20s, so we're talking about the early 2000s, me and him and a few others, we like to, relax a little bit, do a little bit of thing, smoke some, drink some, whatever, and chill back and just listen to music.
What type of shit are you talking about?
So we're smoking weed. So there's a music, there's
illegal stuff. Don't worry about it.
There's an Enigma album. What's the Enigma album? It's 1994, right? But it's the Roman numerals.
Yeah.
And in the intro, the Enigma lady goes, "In the next hour, we're going to take you on a journey." So we all just get baked, and that we're just all zoned into this fucking thing, and then it ends. And me, him, and our buddy Dave come out of the apartment, and we're just smoking a cigarette, and we're just like, dude, when we were so high, that was like the quickest hour ever. It went by so quick. Later on, we realized the album's only 40 minutes long. That's more impressive to us. I don't know. It was a really cool trip.
You had to be there.
You had to have experienced it, man. Yeah, I was thinking of Bueller earlier because I was at Walmart to pick up that American Werewolf in London Blu-ray, and they had Roadhouse on Blu-ray for $10. Only one copy. And in November, we're doing a PCP movie night with Bueller about his favorite movie, Roadhouse. And I'm kind of excited.
In the pitch dark with a bottle of Jack, some beef jerky, and Bueller's son, I believe, is probably joining along with him.
We're all going to become men again that night.
Dude, there's a awesome Arrow video of American Werewolf in London. I've been debating on getting it.
Arrow's great. I got the Reanimator one just recently, dude.
Yeah,
it's dope.
That's the one. Remember, I messaged you and I said when we get closer to our review, I'm gonna buy that one too. Cause it comes with like a book and everything too. I think, doesn't it? The Reanimator.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
I'm really it's only like $16 right now too. I hope it doesn't go up by the time, because I've been getting some Blu-rays here and there. I just actually got this today.
Nice.
The Fog.
Beautiful. That's one of the best 80s horror scores out there.
Dude, right?
That's one of John Carpenter's best, man. His score.
Dude,
oh, dude.
I put on some of the behind the scenes earlier. I watched like the new ones. There's like one with Dean Cundy and Jamie Lee Curtis, which that one was really cool to see. She talked about more than just the fog, kind of like her relationship with John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. Cool. And dude, it's got a new, like, that movie, like when you see the old footage, like the VHS footage, like, man, that shit is like so choppy. And they said it's a new 1080p high definition transfer supervised by Dean Cundy. So I was like, dude, I'm putting it on tonight before bed. I was like, I was gonna watch it earlier. I was like, but it would be so perfect late at night with that fucking score. I remember like the last 2 years, I found a bunch of horror soundtracks on Apple Music, and during like horror, during this time, I just fucking blast those, bro, in my headphones. Yeah. And dude, The Fog has just always been one of my favorites. Like, I could just listen to that,
Oh, dude, and there's like this album, like a record of it, and it starts with the dude's story from the beginning of the movie, and it's just so cool.
That might be like, I know, most people go to the Halloween one. I think like that and Christine are some of my favorites. Like, just everything he does, man. I'm trying to think. I know, like, In the Mouth of the Madness, that's another good score too, but The Fog is just so iconic.
Fable, I'm sure there's a Christine Blu-ray. I'm sure of it somewhere. Sometimes they go out of print, though. It's weird.
No, yeah, they got Christine on Blu-ray. I got it. You could probably get it on Amazon for like $10. I remember I got it at Best Buy. I got it at Best Buy last year or the year before that. My grandpa actually got it.
Best Buy sells movies?
Best Buy still open?
Yeah.
The last album I bought there was Gerard Way's solo album. They actually had it. The Hesitant Alien.
It's not. Sadly, it's not like Scream Factory or anything, though.
Nice, though. Yeah, hell yeah. I don't own it. I don't have Christine. Bueller's cracking me up. He says, if you don't have to hold down the tracking button for 30 seconds to get a good picture for Roadhouse, you're not doing it right. Brooks, you got the VHS set up still?
I have a VCR, but it hasn't been hooked up to anything in many a year.
Nice.
You can get
I
Chris
keep
Cam
all
on
my
Blu-ray.
old garbage. I just shove it in the closet and forget about it.
Robbie, you know, there's a Salem's Lots Blu-ray Steelbook Sam Fett picked up today. Damn, you gotta send me pictures of that, Sam.
I saw it one time. It looks really cool. Like
Really?
I just got the cheap one though. I didn't get that, but yeah, it looks.
I got the cheap one too. Damn. But I was telling Fable he's got to watch that documentary, the 80s one.
In Search of Darkness. I'm going to watch it again. I actually started watching one of my other favorite things. It's called, it was on Bravo in like the early oddies or something. And it was called 100 Scariest Movie Moments or something. And dude, this got interviews with everybody. George Romero, Stephen King, Eli Roth, John Carpenter. Like it's just everybody who did these movies is in there. And that's where I really started learning a lot more about the horror genre, you know, and all the crazy stuff. Like that's the first time I ever actually heard about Zombie 2, you know, and that really had a big. I found them on YouTube randomly and just started watching them last night because I was fiending because that fucking documentary In Search of Darkness was so good, dude.
Heck yeah, dude. Man. There's a couple other good documentaries on there too, on Shudder. There's the Friday the 13th one, and the Nightmare on Elm Street. You might have seen those though, because they're a little bit older. It's like the Never Sleep Alone, and then the Friday the 13th goes through all of them. That one might be a little bit newer though.
Damn, Sam got that one at FYE at the mall in Huntsville for $50.
Really?
Holy shit.
I might have to look that up.
I always forget about FYE.
Yeah, I was like, are they still open?
Yeah,
The sad thing is they have more DVDs than they do CDs. So
you could get both of them, Fable. I know Shout Factory has Nightbreed on Amazon for like $14.97, I think, or something.
Hellraiser can still get got easy, but not
Yeah.
Hellraiser Deader is not easy to get. I'm just going to say that. They even have a new Blu-ray 4 disc or like a 4 movie pack coming out that is Bloodlines, Inferno, Hellseeker, and Hellworld. Totally skipping Deader.
Dude, why do they do stuff like that?
I don't know. And like that's an underrated Hellraiser film in my opinion. I really like that one.
Which one is
love Inferno, Hellseeker, and Deader. I love those 3 Hellraiser films. More than 3 and 2 even probably.
Which one? Inferno is the cop one, right?
Inferno's the cop one. Hellseeker's the one where Kirsty comes back, right? With Mayhem, the guy that was in Oz, played O'Reilly in Oz. He's Mayhem in the insurance commercials. All right, that's Hellseeker. And Deader's the one with what's her name from the first season of Sliders, Carrie Warrior, who was in all those like Skinamax movies in the 90s. I remember her.
I wouldn't know anything about those movies.
Brooks watched them scrambled. He's trying to wait for a good picture.
I never really got into Hellraiser when I was little, to be honest.
She's the war photojournalist. Remember, Dylan? That's the one that's Deader. That's the one where she's the war journalist. Yeah.
Yeah. Something, man. Most have had big Hellraiser fans. They only like the first 2.
And 3's hard to find right now. 3's hard to fucking find. That pisses me off.
Really?
You can find 1 and 2 in a 2-pack. I already have 1, but you can't find 3 on its own unless you want to pay a lot of money. And it's just because they wind up in between printings. It's just like comic books, like trade paperbacks and omnibuses and shit.
Yeah. I like 3, though. I like the first 3. And then I like
3.
Inferno.
3's okay. Bloodlines is okay. Bloodlines is decent.
I love 3. 3 was fun.
Oh, yeah. Bloodlines was Bloodlines has that it goes to the flashbacks, and it has that comedic actor. I can't think of his name. He plays the brother in Step Brothers, the asshole brother. You know what I'm talking about? Damn, what Adam Scott, I think his name is.
Yeah, it's Adam Scott.
Is it that? Yeah.
Correct.
That every time, and
I forgot he is in that movie.
Yeah,
They show how the lament configuration was made, and then they have a present day story, and then they have a future story. And yeah, Twitch, that's the one that's in space, because the end result is that the lament configuration now is the space station.
Shit,
and
they went to space in the third one, or no, that's the fourth one, right?
Yeah, that's the fourth one. That's Bloodlines. The third one's the one that's got that cool totem, you know.
Yeah. It's got
the CD dude, like DJ or whatever.
Yeah. What is that called? The statue or whatever. I like that though. I like the third one, but I like the fourth better. I think.
I'm gonna have to do a rating, but I actually really like 5, 6, and 7 more than I think most people do.
I've heard a lot of people like those. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like those ones.
I feel like if you're like some people that only like the first two, they're just big fans of Clive Barker's books. You know what I'm saying? Like, and because those two are most from his novelizations and stuff, which is understandable. But you know, they start to take it. You know, like he only wrote so many books, I think, about Pinhead. So he starts.
Just two.
Yeah.
There's the initial one that's the Hellbound Heart, which is a great novella. Like, it's really good. And the movie adapts it semi-faithfully. Pinhead is such a small figure in that book. But then he did the Scarlet Gospel, which I hear is terrible. I've never read that one. And apparently he wrote that one because he was tired of what they've done to Hellraiser. And so he just wanted to give the official end of Pinhead, to like kill it and get rid of it. But I'll be honest, man, what happened was Miramax got the rights to Hellraiser, right? And what they would do is they would take these movies that they had bought scripts on spec, and these were all like movies that would honestly be those kind of Cinemax After Dark movies, right? Like about the cheating, corrupt cop, and all this kind of stuff. And these were stories that they took, and then they just kind of put Hellraiser mythology into it.
Yeah.
And in all of them, Pinhead doesn't usually show up until the third act.
Yeah.
Or the end of the second. And but I find those three really fascinating in a slightly trashy, but at the same time legitimately good kind of way, as an interpretation of different people's experiences with what Hellraiser became, where you could just keep doing these stories of people finding the box, you know? So I don't know.
I hear that, man. I hear it. That was one thing I think as a kid. It was almost kind of like Season of the Witch, where you're like, where the fuck is Michael Myers? And then because if you read the book, you know that the girl, or that, I can't think of her name, but the girl in the original Hellraiser, she's really the evil person. In Clive Barker's head, Pinhead's not even really, a bad guy. He's more like the judge, for these crazy people that are trying to, obsessed with flesh or whatever, I don't know. But
pain.
Yeah, I forget how they get into it, but
they get into it because they're into some freaky shit, man. Pleasure and pain and BDSM and all kinds of shit, man, right?
So that girl, and I guess he always wanted, like, that girl is supposed to be like, like the first crazy super or serial killer, woman serial killer, slasher, I don't know what, I forget exactly when I was watching the documentary. But Hellraiser's on the cover, so you're thinking Hellraiser's about to be, the big bad guy, or just like all the other slashers that you see. But it's not really anything like that at all, Like you said, he shows up in the third act.
Yeah, I like them though. They're very formulaic. You could tell, like, they just took these movies scripts they already owned, and they were like, let's throw Pinhead at the end, and throughout the rest of it, he's trying throughout, and at the beginning, first two acts, they're just trying to figure out what this damn box they found is.
Yeah, that's literally like that detective one. It's just about a dirty, corrupt cop, and they just throw Pinhead.
It gets away from some of the initial concepts. The initial the concept of the lament configuration and being able to figure it out, like, it means that you legitimately have to be so willing to call these beings into your life that you first of all have to hit a certain point where you have pushed the boundaries of pleasure and pain and everything to the point where you can go no further. You're like, imagine the crazy things that you do when like you just keep pushing that envelope, you know, and you want to get out there and have a more visceral experience. So now you have to know about the box. You have to find it, and finding it's not typically super easy, but you have to be ready, and then you got to figure it out. So it's like with Cabin in the Woods, how they have to have the harbinger out there as they like when they had their warning. Everybody, plenty of warnings about that goddamn lament configuration. You know what I'm saying? They kind of lose that in those later movies for sure, because they just randomly find this box or become obsessed with the idea of it, and not so much that they're moving into like Frank in the original Hellraiser and in the book, like he's obsessed with it for years before he actually finds it, right? So
dude, it's impressive though. I mean, that's a really, like you said, formulated movie, and that's Clive Barker's. You know, like dude's a novel writer, and then he just goes on to direct that movie. I mean, I'm sure he had to have some type of prepping, but if you watch, I hate it on Shudder. They have Hellraiser. They have 2 documentaries, one for the first movie and one for the second. But Shudder only has it for the second movie, and I really wish they would have had it for the first one, because I would have liked to kind of like, I don't know that much about Clive Barker besides, you know, like that he's written some books and stuff. I never, you know, like I'm a Stephen King fan, so I read those books, but I never got into Hellraiser like that. That's just one, like my mom, that's still to this day, she's probably never watched those movies, and she never will. That's not up her alley. So I just didn't grow up with those ones, but I do enjoy them.
Clive Barker is a really interesting figure, right? And he's a great creator. He's a brilliant writer. He's done some really solid movies, and there haven't been many, right? But I would almost say, like, I don't take this the wrong way, because I like Stephen King too, but Clive Barker is like for Stephen King fans who aren't nerds, and instead they go to the sex clubs. Do you get what I'm saying?
Stephen King he just be churning them bitches out, but
he's prolific.
Clive Barker, his stuff kind of feels more like art, where Stephen King's is kind of like just horror, you know, like, but Clive Barker kind of takes an artistic approach to the stuff that he does, and it has like a deeper meaning. When Stephen
it comes across more pretentious, for sure.
Yeah.
In a good way. In a really good way. Brooks, have you ever read any Clive Barker?
No, I never have, surprisingly enough. I was a Stephen King guy too. Like I got into it when I was in high school. Like I pretty much went through all the Stephen King books in the high school library. I kind of got on just a kick of it. Like I just read one, and I'm like, I'll just read this next one. I just kept reading them. But I never did read any Clive Barker. No.
Yeah.
I haven't read too much of him, to be honest with you.
Me either. I hear Hulu, or you know Hulu's doing the Books of Blood or whatever.
Yes. That's November or October?
I'm hoping October.
I think it's November, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's October. There's a trailer out now, I think. I don't know. I have to check on it.
Dude, the makeup for Skinless Frank is like iconic and so, oh my God.
Great. So great.
So crazy.
That's his directorial debut, too. Like, Clive Barker wrote this novella, and then he got the chance to make this movie, and he did such an exceptional job. And he kind of got ganked by the studio over Hellraiser.
Oh, I'm sure.
I think he's never really quite forgiven them for that.
Dude, to be honest, like, Skinless Frank creeps me out more than Pinhead.
Now, like, Pinhead freaks me out more, to be honest with you, because Skinless Frank, really? I feel like I can outrun, but I can't outrun Pinhead.
I know, dude.
If I open it, but ultimately, how does Kirsty end it? She just fucking finds the right puzzle, right? I mean, I love it. It's so simple.
I don't like
he just
that.
puts the box back, and he's like, "No, don't do that."
I never liked that, and the effects were a little cheesy, but I know they didn't give him that much money. They're never gonna give that guy that much. He got a considerable amount though, but it was still like mid-range. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, too. Like, as much shit as I talk sometimes about Hellraiser 3, those some of the best Pinhead moments are in that movie. Like when he puts the nails in his fucking palms and he's like, I am the way. You know, and he's like mimicking Jesus and he's in the church and like the stained glass breaks and he does the crucifix. Oh, dude, I love that shit. That shit's really dope.
I think the third one is when they show the origin of Pinhead, I think.
That's 2, right? In 2, you find out that he's that soldier or whatever. Yeah, that's 2, and you see him all go into him. I think that's 2. I'm pretty sure.
You're probably right.
I think I met Doug Bradley. He was super cool dude, man. I got a really shitty photo of it, but he was a super cool dude, and meeting him was a dream come true, and that was awesome. He's the only horror I've never gotten to meet. Robert Englund or Kane Hodder or. With Mike Myers, there have been plenty of them that have come to the same place. There's a haunted house. What is it, Killen, Alabama, Mike, where Atrox Factory is? Yeah. Atrox, right? I can't hear you at all. We can't hear you, Mike. But, no, we can't hear you. But they have Michael Myers there all the time. But I'm like, I don't even know who played Michael in what movie. But, yeah, not really. I never paid too much attention to that. I know Kane Hodder, but he was honestly not in my favorite Jason movie. My favorite Jason movie might be 6. So.
I was going to say, Kane Hodder didn't play Michael.
No, I know that. Yeah. I meant Jason.
I know.
Whatever.
6 is Jason Lives, right?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, that's the next one on my journey.
Hey, what did you think of New Beginning? Because I actually like that one.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I thought it was kind of like far-fetched how this paramedic has like this prosthetic Jason mask with the hockey mask over it.
Yeah, right.
And like when he falls to his death, like all of a sudden it just bursts open to show his face. I was like,
yeah. Yeah, it's funny though, if you see like behind the scenes, that's like what the real actors that are playing Jason are wearing, are like a Jason ball cap with like the deformed head and shit.
Yeah, like I would understand it better if he just had like a bald cap on with like some stuff maybe like stuffed into it, to kind of make it kind of bulky.
I like that movie. And
I absolutely love it, dude.
A lot of people hate that movie.
I know.
Because it's not actually Jason, right? And they hate it because of that. But
well, I mean, a lot of the kills he makes don't really make much sense.
But do you know what my
favorite his motivation when you think
one of
my
favorite fucking things about though? Isn't this the movie with the couple where the dude's taking a shit in the outhouse and they're singing to each other?
Yeah.
Like that shit cracks me.
It's a little kid's brother.
Yeah.
He's like,
oh yeah, you got it. Yeah, you got it. Dude. Check it out. I got the pop of him.
Nice. Look. That's what he.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Talking about the cap.
Yeah, that's great.
But you're talking about the. I didn't know they had a pop of him though. That's cool.
Yeah, it was part of a Hot Topic like mystery pool. Like you didn't know which one you're gonna get. You're gonna get the Dark Pinhead. You're gonna get a Beetlejuice. I think. Yeah, that was the only way to get this one, and I love it.
Dude, this one, I think that I spent, like, I usually would get my NECAs like 30 or cheaper, like retail or cheaper. I was finding them for like 20 from some people, but this was the one I paid the most for, but I had to have it. If you've seen The Burning, you'll know why I put it in the hedge clippers in this position.
Oh shit, my stew.
And I guess the stew is ready.
Yeah, sounds like.
Yeah, dude. I love. You know what's funny about that New Beginning? It was directed by like they say it was like directed by a light porn director or something. Like the guy was doing like light porn movies, and somehow he got to do Friday the 13th.
Well, if there's any series I can see a porn director jumping in on, I think Friday the 13th. So.
Oh yeah. Well, you know one thing about it, that one is like. It has some of the best kills, because if you notice, like when you start getting into some of them, they like, dude, what is it?
The kills in 4 are kind of weak.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, right. Like everyone.
They started to like get less graphic with it, like showing less.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kind of cutting away a lot of stuff.
And that was the best part. Like that's where I think when Kane Hodder comes in, the like 7, A New Beginning. That's what I was saying to who was I saying that to? Then was it Jelani or somebody I was saying it to? Maybe it was Robbie. But I was like, man, Kane Hodder. They say Kane Hodder's the best, but he gets his I think it was Hammer Time. But he gets his kills are just totally taken away from him. They're not gory or anything. Like they never show it. And I was like, man, like, come on. It's like when you're getting to like the 8th film, it's like we're here for the gore. We're not here because we just like, to be like pulling John Carpenter shit. It's like that worked in the first Halloween movie where less is more. But it's like when they keep going with it, they're there for the gore. So.
The early ones, like they weren't afraid to show you,
Yeah,
crazy ways that these guys are getting killed.
Yep, it's crazy, man. I think I guess like I think it's called like the MPA. They were like butchering those movies, man. Like literally, they ruin it. That's why I'm surprised part 5, man. Like that's why like nowadays I think when you watch that, like back in the day, a lot of people gave it shit, but it's starting to get a cult following because if you go watch all of them in a row, you're like, yeah, maybe Jason's not in it, but it's something different. And if you're there for the kills, it's just it's a fun movie. It's one of the fun ones. And then Jason Lives is just fun as hell as by itself.
Jason Lives is the one where Tommy Jarvis resurrects him with lightning or something, right?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a Frankenstein meets Jason.
That's when he goes full on, just like in the 6th movies of all these franchises, those big 3 of the 80s, Halloween, Freddy, and Jason. In the 6th movie, they completely jump the fucking shark and just go wild as fuck. And Jason was the best one. Jason Lives, he becomes a Frankenstein zombie monster. In Freddy 6, that's Freddy's dead. They go 3D, they get the power glove. It's ridiculous. Roseanne's in it. And then Halloween 6 is Curse of Michael Myers, where they completely jump the fucking shark with the whole Cult of Thorn thing.
Watch out.
Oh man, Friday the 13th part 3, that was like, it was so irritating. Certain shots, like, you'd have the one where the dude's holding the pole and you're like, why is that shot like that? And then you remember, oh yeah, because it's supposed to be in 3D.
Yeah, the Blu-ray set.
People like just shoving the Blu-ray set. You're like, why are they doing that?
Shoving shit into the camera.
The Blu-ray
like a
set,
dude doing a yo-yo down on somebody's face.
The Blu-ray set that we're getting has that in 3D. I'm very excited for it. We're gonna watch it at John's place. We'll invite you, Brooks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm jealous, man. I wanted to see that remastered 3D.
Just fucking come on down to Alabama, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
We'll let you know when.
I'm thinking about it. Yeah.
The stew is fine, Twitch. I think it's fine. Stew can stay in there for a while. It's a slow go. You know what I'm saying? But I did have to pull it out of the oven. Yeah, I'm making stew in the oven.
We're at that hour mark.
You have a crock pot?
I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I know you said you could get yours out fairly quick, so I'm waiting. Hopefully Mike comes back.
Yeah, let me check my phone, see what's up with him.
We could start off with what do you want to start off with, vampires or werewolves? Vampires, I feel like Robbie can like say on like just like you could catch him off guard. What's your favorite vampire movies? Like, whoa, I got you. Top 5. You want my top 10? I can do that real quick too. You can't get Robbie on that one. I asked him, and he's like, dude, absolutely.
You whatever you want to do, buddy.
We'll do vampires. I know Brooks said he doesn't even have 5 werewolf. We'll do because you're the guest and vampires are your favorites. We'll do vampires first.
And Mike, if you're listening, please come back. Where are you at?
Come back to us, Mike.
Come back, Mike.
So, let's start with Brooks. Your top 5 favorite vampire movies, my man.
Okay. My number 5 is one I remember seeing as a kid. I haven't seen it since. I remember liking it as a kid. Was Vampirella. It was like I think it was like an HBO or Showtime. It was on one of those cable channel movies. I remember liking the shit out of that movie as a kid. I haven't rewatched it, so
Like based on the comic book.
yeah,
I didn't know they did a movie.
yeah, man. It was like mid '90s, I think.
Oh man, did you watch it in the mid '90s?
Yeah,
That's why you liked it so much, man.
yeah. But number 4, that would be it's a movie called Suck. It's kind of a comedy about this band who they're just kind of this lame band, but then one of their members gets like turned into a vampire, and she comes back, and like all of a sudden the band becomes popular. It's a funny movie, and the best part is it has Moby playing a character named Beef, who's like this punk rock singer, whose gimmick is that he straps like raw meat onto himself when he goes up on stage and plays.
I've never seen
You
that.
never heard? Yeah, have you never seen Suck?
No.
No.
I think you'd probably like it. I mean, for the Moby bits alone. But number 3 would be probably Bram Stoker's Dracula,
Oh yeah.
because I think it's the most similar Dracula to the book, I think, that I've seen. And I was really into reading the book back when I was in high school. Like I always had to read the book that the movie was based on. And let's see, number 2 would be Lost Boys, which we just recently revisited because that movie is just super cool.
Since Delaney's not here.
Jesus, please.
Man, you know what? I'm jealous. I never got to read Bram Stoker's Dracula in school, man. Like that would have been one I would have actually been excited to read instead of like To Kill a Mockingbird bullshit they would make us read.
I did one of my final senior year English reports on Bram Stoker.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. It's a phenomenal book. The did you have one more, Brooks? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
And number 1 would be the Bela Lugosi Dracula, of course, the classic.
Yeah.
My man.
Spanish version or the English? Spanish version or the English?
Espanol.
Some people say the Spanish version is scarier.
The Spanish version has more flair to it, but it's not as well acted.
Yeah, no, not at all. Yeah, I think it. You know what? It has darker scenes because they film. You know, that was funny thing I learned that they would film too. They would have back in those days. They didn't dub it. I guess they would film it twice. So during the day, the Bela Lugosi English version was getting filmed, and then at night they were filming the Spanish one, which I'm sure Robbie knows. Man, the motherfucker is a genius when it comes to anything with the Bela Lugosi Dracula stuff.
I was there.
Rats.
Yeah.
Rats.
Millions of them. That's a really dope top 5, Brooks. I'm really impressed. You even threw me and Dylan for a loop, man.
I know.
I didn't know nobody was going to see Vampirella coming.
Or Suck. Like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
It's dope. Have you ever seen Near Dark, Brooks?
I have not seen Near Dark.
You might have a new top. You might have a new entry next week.
Yep.
Probably not. He'll probably fucking hate it. This movie is stupid as fuck.
The 3.
God. Ugh.
Is Michael out and clear?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Sorry, I had to restart everything, and I found the right headphones.
No worries.
What I was going to say, Robbie, is for Marvel in the 90s, you need to do the Clive Owen book, or the Clive Barker book for Marvel in the 90s.
John, what you won? They did a bunch of them.
I know, but I mean, anyone really. Since it's all, I mean, doing Horror Fest. Like,
I'm thinking of Horror Fest stuff. I already picked out that I'm going to do Night Stalkers, so I got to reread that entire run, and I'm going to do Supernaturals, which is that 4-issue series by Brian Pulido and Jim Ballant, I think, if I remember correctly. And I have those, and they have the masks in them. So I know I'm doing those. And I was also thinking about doing the Supernatural Punisher one by Bernie Wrightson.
Punisher?
Yeah, but that's a lot of Marvel in the 90s. Marvel in the 90s takes more time than I want it to.
But I thought was Punisher 99 or 2000?
It's like 98, 99. 2000 was the Garth Ennis stuff. Marvel Knights started in '98 in the fall, and it started with 4 titles, and it was Daredevil, Inhumans, Black Panther, and Punisher. Yep.
So
That was Welcome Back, Frank.
Punisher.
Welcome Back, Frank was 2000.
That was
Punisher
2000?
Wolverine was 1999.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I forgot he'd done a run before that.
I'm talking about the one where he's basically the avenging angel.
Yeah,
Punisher.
Because Gabriel let his family die.
Supernatural weapons and shit.
Yeah, he just reached into his jacket to pull out anything.
All these crazy, weird weapons. It's 4 issues and it was dumb, but I liked it. I still do. It has a special place in my heart. That initial launch of Marvel Knights has a special place in my heart, to be honest.
I think somewhere in was it the Punisher Wolverine, the 2nd volume.
Yeah, they did a 2nd volume with the Jay Lee. At Lee.
He takes like a bomb and throws it in his jacket, and they're like, because Wolverine's like, is that going to work? And he's like, I don't know, it's got to go somewhere.
Huh.
And there's like an angel on the other end of it, just like, what is this?
I'd like to get more involved in Marvel in the 90s, but I'd also like to start doing more like, say, DC in the 90s or Dark Horse in the 90s or something like that. You know, I'd like to cover some other things too. But I got a lot planned out for Marvel in the 90s. I know where I'm going. To do one of those, it takes a long time because I got to reread it. I usually reread them twice. I cut together the image collage, put all that in order, kind of think about what I want to say, and then I just honestly just fucking wing it. But the preparation takes a while, I guess. Anyway, we're derailing the vampire talk. I'm sorry.
Sorry. I was gone for like 5 minutes. So is it my top 5?
Yeah, I think because you were next to Brooks, so we'll just go you and then Robbie.
Look-wise.
Yeah.
All right, so
it's like weird, but before Brooks was in your spot, so I would have done like Brooks, you, then Robbie, then me.
You're messing up the rotation.
Sorry.
Messing up the rotation, man. I think
to the left.
There you go. That's better.
I forgot now you can change it. That's cool.
You can change it now? That's so cool. I didn't know that.
All right, so my number 5 is
Robbie Show.
Yo, everybody, all of a sudden, we're just going to talk about cereal. Oh, my bad.
I went to the store today. Couldn't find anything new. But I saw all the pumpkin spice stuff they had out.
I got pumpkin spice Cheerios right there, bro.
I saw there's a pumpkin spice life or...
There's a pumpkin spice life. It's pretty decent. I haven't found it yet, though.
Oh, what's the one where it's the...
We're really not talking about cereal.
Sugar on the one side and the
Frosted Mini Wheats, man.
Yes, I saw that today.
Their pumpkin spice is really good.
Yeah, I saw that today.
Just saying.
I might have to try those.
Yeah, they're good, man.
All right, so number 5 is What We Do in the Shadows.
Nice.
Number 4 is John Carpenter's Vampires. Number 3 is Fright Night, the original, not the remake.
Nice.
So the remake is pretty good too.
I like the remake too.
And me too.
Number 2 is Blade 2.
Nice.
And that's probably the best one. Dust from Dusk Till Dawn gets my number 6. And trying to find it. I got my list over here. Sorry. Oh man, I just said it the other day. This is the one I recommended. I'll let the right one in. From 2008. That's
Right.
the number 1.
I'm
And
glad
that's
to
the
see
original.
John
That's not the
Carpenter's
remake.
Vampires getting some love.
I love
The
that movie.
Japanese one, yeah. Dude, I'm glad to see John Carpenter's Vampires getting some love, man. I know when I first told I have the Shout Factory, and Robbie's like, no, I don't like that. I like it. It's not the most amazing movie, but I like it. It's different.
Whack.
Nah, it's not
Why,
whack,
you
dude.
don't get the mahogany when you watch it?
I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it since it came out in theaters.
It's just big dumb fun. Like there's nothing serious about it.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's the thing.
I was a bit more pretentious at the time. I expected more out of John Carpenter.
We used to expect more out of James Woods too, probably.
Yeah. No, not really, to be honest. That's a good top 5, though, man. Fright Night's a great pick. Let the right one in. Was that a Swedish film or like a Norwegian film or something?
Yeah, about the kid. The little girl vampire and the boy. Yeah.
And the cat scene,
Yeah.
bro.
You know what's funny?
Cats?
The English remake, the Let Me In, I think
Yeah.
it Let the Right One In or whatever, that you know who directed that? Matt Reeves, the new upcoming director for the new
Yeah.
Batman.
It's not bad, but it's not as visceral as the original.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed because I was surprised by Brooks and Mike because I knew they're not necessarily the hugest horror fans.
Right.
I think they put together some really great top fives.
Well,
I think
it's one of those. I'm not really big into the gore. So, but like the psychological terror, like a lot of the stuff in the last 10 years that's just psychological, like the one It Follows or something like that about the STD monster.
that
Like
one's
stuff
good.
like that. What, the Cam Girl one? Did y'all see that one?
Which one?
The one about the Cam Girl that she gets her account hacked and she's got to take it back, and
No.
she's got to go to the extreme. It's kind of messed up, but like those are
I didn't see that.
what's that one with Scarlett Johansson where she's the alien eating people? I know Robbie can't remember. Man, sorry.
I love Disney and comics is right. Dracula 2000 is where they say Dracula was Judas, and that's why he's allergic to silver coins.
Oh, I remember that one. That
That's
was
Gerard Butler. He's got a great soundtrack. On that soundtrack is System of a Down covering Metro by Berlin, and it's awesome if you've never heard it.
All right, Robbie, you're up.
All right. Well, you said top 5 vampire films, right?
Yeah. You
I
could
got a
do a
top-
top 10.
I
You
got a
could
top
do a top 10.
I got a top 10.
Go
Here's my
ahead.
top 10.
I want it.
Number 10, Captain Chronos Vampire Hunter, a lesser-known Hammer film that I absolutely adore. He's dealing with a different type of vampire, so there's different ways to kill him. And in one scene in particular, he's trying to kill this vampire over and over in different ways until he figures out what method works. I love that film. It's underrated. Captain Chronos Vampire Hunter. It's great. This guy literally is a weed-smoking vampire hunter, like back in the Dark Ages, and it's fucking awesome. It's just badass. Number 9, Dracula's Daughter from the 30s. The original sequel to Dracula. Edward Van Sloan came back. It was about Dracula's daughter. It was a great movie with a great style to it. Number 8, Let the Right One In. You know, I love that film. I think it's great. It's visceral. It's a great experience. It's a beautiful film. Number 7 is Nosferatu, the original one with Max Schreck as Count Orlok. What a great, chilling film. It's a silent film, but it's super scary. Still, to me, one of the scariest films I've ever seen. Big shout out to Vampire, by the way. Didn't make the top 10, but that's another silent film that's super creepy. At number 6, Fright Night. Great theme song, great stupid stuff, great gore, great effects. I love that movie so much. Number 5, Horror of Dracula. The first Hammer film adaptation of Dracula. Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. Need I say any more? At number 4, The Lost Boys. Cry Little Sister. I still believe in it. We've talked about that a lot. Number 3, Near Dark. I like Near Dark slightly better than Lost Boys. You'll find out more Friday night at Horror Fest. At number 2, I'm going to go with Blade. I know Blade 2 is the better film, but Blade has such a tone and a style that I just love, and it takes me back to a time in my life. And my number 1 is Dracula, Bela Lugosi, just like Brooks. That's the best vampire movie ever, and it's never been topped, in my opinion. Todd Browning and Lugosi, Manners, Van Sloan together, and Dwight Fry as Renfield. There's my top 10. Done.
I'm surprised you didn't have the one with Gary Oldman on your list either. But
It's
you had
okay.
some good-
There's some bad acting and there's just some exceptional melodrama in that. And I can handle the melodrama in the 30s Dracula, but not so much in one from the 90s. But it's got some great scenes in it. I'm not going to lie. And I like Gary Oldman as the character. But it gets too much into this love story. They kind of create this more intense love story that's not really there. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear
If
that.
you want a sexy Dracula, watch the one with, what's his name? Frank Langella from the 70s. That's a sexy Dracula.
So which one you like better, the Gary Oldman or Gerard Butler?
Gary Oldman. Gerard Butler's a fine Dracula. I don't like the movie, but it's a fine Dracula.
Oh, I didn't know you didn't like the movie. Okay.
It's okay. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
There's a piece of me that likes it because it reminds me of being in my early 20s, but it's okay.
Who's the guy who played Dracula in Blade 3? Was that Dominic Purcell?
Yeah, the guy that fucking plays Heatwave.
From Prison Break.
It's like the worst fucking Dracula ever, by the way.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
Hey, Dylan, I just sent you a message with those 2 trailers. For those 2 trailers to check out.
Oh, okay. Cool. The man, I tell you, I forgot to write my shit down because I had to help. Oh, okay, nice. But I know my stuff pretty good. Like it could like the positions could change, but they're most likely like this top 5. Like they'll always be in that same top 5. Maybe the numbers might change. It just depends on the day. You know what I mean? But I'd say number 5, the Bela Lugosi, Dracula. Number 4, what was it? Fright Night. Number 3, Near Dark. Number 2, Lost Boys. And I think, if those ones are so neck and neck, I feel the same with you, Robbie. Lost Boys wins it, though, just because of nostalgia. Like, I've been watching that since I was, like, probably, like, fucking 2, bro. Near Dark, I found a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I found that when I was, like, 10 or something. 10 or 12, but that other one, like, I've grown up with since a toddler. It's crazy. And first, Salem's Lot. I think I was it. Yeah, Lost Boys 2, 1, Salem's Lot by Tobe Hooper. I'd make my honorable mention the what was it? The Dracula, from Dusk Till Dawn. That's a great one. Twitch. That would be an honorable mention for sure. I love that one. I do enjoy that Dracula. I enjoy the practical effects, some of the bat stuff they got going on, like the creature effects. But I do agree with you on that, Robbie. It gets a little washed out with the love stuff, because in the novel it's not as much, it's not really all about that. It's more about him. But yeah, there's some good ones. There's I do enjoy that John Carpenter's Vampires as well, as Mike said. So I was really glad to see Mike throw that one in there. So I got Robbie hating on me for that one.
No, it's a good top 5, man. That's really good. I like it.
Yeah, that one's a no-brainer for me. I love those movies, man. It's phenomenal. All right, so the second topic, top 5 Wolfman. Let's start off with my man Brooks.
Okay.
You said you don't have a top 5, probably just do whatever you can do. No worries, my brother.
I've got three movies that I can remember having watched, and if I'd rank them in order, I would say The Howling would be at number 3.
Nice.
Because I remember it. I don't remember much about it except it was super violent, and I actually I liked it as a kid. I was like, damn, this is like one of the most violent movies I've seen.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'd say, would be Teen Wolf, which is, while definitely not being a scary werewolf movie, it is a werewolf movie.
Yeah.
And number 1 would be The Wolfman, classic Universal Wolfman.
Hell yeah.
You can never go wrong with the Universal classics.
You never can.
That's a dope top 3.
I love it.
I had to watch more werewolf movies.
I just had a thought too. Y'all can't come over Monday night to watch Near Dark with me because I got to watch The Mummy live here on YouTube. I forgot. Mummy Monday starts Monday night. I forgot about that. So we'll reschedule. Double feature.
Hey, and bless you, Mike. I saw you sneezing off camera, muting it. I'm excited to watch you do those, Robbie. All right, Mike. So you're up next, my brother. Top 5 werewolf.
All right, number 1 is American Werewolf in London.
Oh yeah.
And number 2 is Ginger Snaps.
Oh, I just watched all. Like, I didn't know there was 3 of those, and
I've
just watched
never
the
seen
first 2.
Ginger Snaps.
Yeah,
Never seen it.
I fell asleep during the third one. So, but I guess
It's fall asleep worthy, definitely.
number 3 is Teen Wolf.
Dope.
Hell yeah.
Number 4 is Silver Bullet, and number 5 is Wolf.
Wolf.
Nicholson.
Yeah.
Mike Nichols directed that. That's a decent top 5. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's decent.
Because Wolf's on there.
You got some good picks. Wolf's kind of dumb, I think.
It's between that. It's like, do I pick Wolf or do I pick the original? It's like they're both kind of. I mean, the original Wolfman and Wolf are like number 5.
I gotcha.
So, I mean, like, Monster Squad. How about that? Is that better?
No, I mean, you have your top 5. I appreciate it, man.
Let's see what you got for your top 5. I want to hear it. Are you doing a top 10 again?
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban count as a werewolf movie?
I love that he counted it as a werewolf movie. Hell yeah.
It does have Lupin in it.
Yeah, Lupin's a fucking werewolf. He's the threat of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How about Wolf
Dog
Cop?
Soldiers is good.
I haven't seen
Wolf
Wolf
Cop.
Cop. I hear a lot of good stuff about it, though.
I think there's 2 of them. I think 2. There might be 3. I've seen some of the first one though. I don't think I've seen it all though. Peace out, bro. Have a good night. Yeah, Ginger Snaps. I just watched that the other night. The second one's not that good. The first one's good though. First one's good. It's unique. It's not like your average werewolf movie for sure. Plus, it's a female cast, so there's that too, where you get a different kind of werewolf, kind of what you might have seen if they continued on with the transformation of the Howling, seeing Dee Wallace turn into a werewolf. Spoiler alert.
That reminds me, there was a werewolf scene in Trick or Treat, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because where it's like the girls end up being the werewolves, and
Yes,
Yeah.
Anna Paquin and her gang.
They gotta rip their skin off, like actual skinwalkers. I
Love
fucking love. That's probably in the last 20 years. That's probably the best werewolf transformation I've seen. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
And so one of the reasons I was like, why did I watch Ginger Snaps? And I was trying to remember it. It's another one of those early 2000 films that has a great soundtrack. So it was one of those, like, I remember the soundtrack. I listened to the soundtrack before I actually watched the movie. So it's one of those, like, let's watch the movie.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, I love that movie, Cursed. Dog Soldiers is fucking awesome too. All right, Robbie, what you got? A top 10 or a top 5?
I got top 50. No, I got top 5. I wanted werewolves to me is easier to peg down to 5.
Yeah, there's not
number
as many
5.
werewolf movies too.
What's that?
Way more vampire movies than there is werewolf.
Yes, even though there was a big trend of shape-shifting werewolf movies in the 80s especially.
Yeah.
So at number 5, I would have Teen Wolf because I just love that movie. I can do the mashed potato. I can do all that jazz. That movie has a special place in my heart. Number 4 is Curse of the Werewolf, the Hammer film starring Oliver Reed. I watched that one in middle school. I was fixated on it. It was kind of like you know how what the Hammer films did, and they did it for the Wolfman in that film. At number 3, I have The Howling, the Joe Dante classic. I love that film. Great performances by Dee Wallace, by Robert Picardo. I love that film, and I love that werewolf transformation. But my favorite werewolf transformation is in my number 2, which is An American Werewolf in London. I love that film. It's funny. John Landis did a great job of balancing the humor and the horror. It's got great effects. Holy cow, does it. Rick Baker is a genius. And at number 1, it's The Wolfman. Lon Chaney Jr., 1941. It was, even though Werewolf of London came before that, and it's fine, but it was Wolfman that really, to me, kicked this werewolf thing off justly, and that's my number one.
So where does Teen Wolf 2 sit in your top 10, or is it in your top 20?
What'd you say?
Teen Wolf 2, where does it sit in your top 10?
Teen Wolf 2 might be a number 10 or 9, maybe 12.
And where does An American Werewolf in Paris fall?
I have a nostalgic love of it because I saw it in the theater in high school. And it's got that Bush song attached to it, which I love.
It had another good soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a great soundtrack. So I would probably place it in the top 15.
Hell yeah.
And I do not like the Underworld films, but
I'm not a fan of them either, really, honestly.
Has
I don't
anybody
like
mentioned-
it's all CGI stuff too. Like it's all very CGI heavy.
It was in that The Matrix had just like reached the peak of its popularity, and so they're like, oh, let's do The Matrix but with vampires.
yeah, let's do Blade and the Matrix. You know,
Has anybody mentioned Van Helsing?
no.
That's the both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Van Helsing's good. I liked Van Helsing when
I don't mind it. I don't mind Van Helsing, but it's because I'm a Universal fan. So
yeah, me same. I have it on DVD too, but I haven't watched it in years. All right.
What about you, Dylan? What are your favorites?
Like I said with the vampires. Well, honestly, I'd probably say most of my stuff is like right where it's at. My number 5 is probably I'm gonna start with my number 1 actually. My number 1 is this movie called Bad Moon. It's so good, man. And I know you guys haven't seen it, but if you're like a dog lover, man, and you like werewolf movies, it's like the perfect movie. It's basically like a German shepherd named Thor versus this werewolf. And it's phenomenal, man. I love it so much. Like, it's got the kid from Dennis the Menace, the Nick Capp.
Yeah, I remember this one.
I love that movie, man. It's so good. So, yeah.
It's
Dude,
awesome.
it's so good, man. It's on Shudder. Robbie. Silver Bullet would be my second. Corey Haim and Gary Busey. I love that movie, man, and it is, dude. Like, I easily, man, like those Silver Bullet and Bad Mood can switch out. Like, I've usually it would be Silver Bullet, but Bad Moon, like, I watched that when I was a kid, and like over the years, I've just grown to love it so much more. Like, so, yeah, those two are like really neck and neck, but I'll give that 2. Number 3, The Howling. Number 4, oh shit, man, mine needs to be like a top. You know what? I got it because it would be a top 6. So I'm gonna. Number 1 is Bad Moon and Silver Bullet because I can't leave out the one. I can't leave this one out. Number 1 is tied for Bad Moon and Silver Bullet. Number 2. What did I say? Number 2 was, or what did I say? Number 3 was. The Howling. I'm gonna do number 2, the Lon Chaney Werewolf, the classic one, because I was gonna put that number 3, but I'll give it number 2. Then number 3 will be The Howling. Number 4, Dog Soldiers, and number 5, American Werewolf in London. So I'll repeat it because I know I just made that confusing as hell. Number 1, tied for Bad Moon and Silver Bullet. And number 2, the OG Wolfman with Lon Chaney. And that one's so nostalgic. I used to watch that. That's the movie that made me love werewolves, watching that movie with my grandfather. It's another one that gave me my love for Universal Monsters, period. The Wolfman. That was the one that started it all. Number 3, The Howling. Number 4, Dog Soldiers. And number 5, American Werewolf in London. I was gonna say too, Brooks, when you didn't, I was surprised you didn't put American Werewolf and you said The Howling because always a lot of people, it's either The Howling or American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, I've never seen American Werewolf.
I'm surprised. I think, yeah, you did mention that when Robbie showed the Blu-ray. I'm surprised you haven't seen that. Everyone always, I don't know, which transformation do you like better? American Werewolf or the Howling? See, I've always been the Howling. I love it. They're both incredible. Don't get me wrong, but I just love that one. I love the Howling.
I like them both, but I like the Rick Baker one a bit better in American Werewolf in London.
I got you. See, and
it's been too long for me to say. It's been like so long since I saw the Howling that I don't really remember many details about it.
It's like a cult of vampires. That one's cool.
Yeah.
See, and like some days too, like I'll switch out. And some days I would have said American Werewolf #4 and Dog Soldiers 5, but usually, man, that would be my top 5, man. All those movies, man, or I guess top 6. But I get to do a top 6 because Robbie had fucking top 10. Robbie, I know you're not frozen.
I can see your fingers moving, dude.
Your fingers twitching. Donnie Darko's a good one.
That's a great one. I love that one.
Is Donnie Darko a werewolf movie?
Bad Moon is a deep cut.
Have you seen the Ultimate Edition?
No, I haven't.
Patrick Swayze's a werewolf.
This is my horse. I named him Ghost after that movie I was in.
Yeah, they're both so good, man. To be honest, it's just I love the close-ups on that one, man. It's so fucked up. There's another one that has crazy. What was that one called? It's like a company with wolves, I think. You ever see that one where it's like the human, but the wolf, but it's more like dog wolves, which I don't like as much. Like it's fine, but sometimes I don't like it. But the dog like snout like will come out of the human mouth, and like basically it like the werewolf like jumps out of the human body, which is like crazy as hell. And if you see it done in a company of wolves, it's really it's a cool transformation and something a lot different than what they were doing at that time with all the Howling and American Werewolf transformations.
Yeah. I think I've seen it in a documentary recently.
Yeah. Man, I can't think of what the name of that is. I think I said it's one of the best documentaries too. Shit. What's the name of that? Yeah, it'll come to me.
The only one I've watched recently is In Search of Darkness.
Oh, I think that's it.
The one on Shudder, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so?
Yeah. But yeah, I love that documentary, man. I just dude, you're gonna end up like me where you just like when you're bored, you're just gonna throw it on in the background. Like you said you're watching it again already. It's so one guy he said he's like, man, I ain't got time, and he's a huge horror guy. And like one of these guys I watch his movie reviews, but he's like 90% horror. Sometimes he'll do some other stuff, but he's mainly horror. And he's like, man, 4.5 hours, I ain't got time. It's like, bro, you watch hella movies a day, bro. Like, throw that shit on. It's so fucking good, man. I love it. But yeah, man. I guess we'll start wrapping it up since we're at the hour and a half. Robbie, what you got going on, my man? I know you got something going on.
Tomorrow morning, weekly pop culture wrap up. Then tomorrow night, Sunday night, Rock and Robbie live, 7 p.m. Central Time.
Heck yeah.
Monday night, 8 p.m. Central Time, Mummy Monday starts. We're going to be live commentating on The Mummy with Boris Karloff from 1932. Yes. Tuesday night, the weekly comic book review. Thursday morning, the top 10 comic books of the week. Friday night, Horror Fest continues with Near Dark. The next Saturday night, back here.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So there you go. Something almost every day.
Hell yeah. I'm excited for I can't go to work without peeping the Sunday live stream. I can't end my work day and go to sleep until I didn't seen my Mummy review. So I hear you, bro. I hear you. It's gonna be a good week, and I'm pumped to watch Near Dark again. I'm pumped. After that, I gotta start digging in on the Romero movies.
Because
I
that's
hope I'm
coming up
good.
next. That's
No,
next.
I know I should be good to watch them all. I'm pretty sure I found a way to watch them all, so I'll be good. But I gotta dig them in because yeah, that's like 6 movies, so that's a little bit different than the one reviews we've just been doing. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and then Phantasm not too long after that. So get ready, y'all. It's about to get more intense than it has been. We've eased into it.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about the first 2 Phantasms. I'm not sure how I feel about the other 3, but I recently watched those 2. Like I binged all 5 last year, so I like those are pretty fresh. But dude, the first 2 are so good. I found the first one for like $5 at Walmart in their bin. I remember, yeah, dude. So look out for that. I found it last year, but
I found one too.
Did you?
Yeah, when I got my set, I just gave it to Strickland. Gave it to Jane
nice.
Strickland.
Yeah, I forgot you got the set, dude. Yeah. So I wish, man, I could find the second one, but the second one is like super hard to find. I don't understand why. I think a different company did it or something.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it's fucked up, man. But yeah, Brooks, what you got going on for this week, my man? What kind of YouTube videos you pushing out?
Just whatever I end up doing with that guy, which I guess would be next Friday. We're doing Near Dark.
Near Dark.
Yeah. So I gotta watch that. It
Hell
should be good
yeah.
because I haven't seen it.
Oh man, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun to hear your thoughts on that one, my man.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna like that one. I think you're gonna like it.
Yeah, I think so.
And we got my man Mike. My man blessed us with. I don't know. Has he been on your channel before, Robbie? If not, man, first time my man Mike has been on my channel, and
yeah, first time on your channel.
Hell, well,
I've got to fill in for you. I filled in for you on a few of Robbie's shows. So back in the day.
Weird stretch.
So
prove it. Station.
A24. Are you familiar with that production company?
Yeah.
You frozen? I can't tell. They did Midsummer, Hereditary. It's pretty much like look up A24 Productions and like A24 horror movies. Like that's my bag for horror movies.
Okay.
So yeah. So like I just sent you a few more. I put it there's I'm working I just realized that they're all A24 films.
Yeah.
When I put a list on Facebook for people to look at to go through and check out. Also one Fish song. Well, it's Wolfman's brother, so it's fitting. But yeah, go check out all those A24 films. They are pretty dark and disturbing, but that's what I like those a lot better than a lot of like the slashers and the gore. But there's something about these, like there is gore in these films, but like it's just kind of just a fucked up situation. So it has me more intrigued. Like I'm actually watching the movie that's interesting and not a horror movie. So
A24, I think they do a lot of stuff with Blumhouse, and they've been doing some good shit. You know, sometimes they have some misses, but I think they've been doing some good stuff. If anyone puts out decent horror movies ever, it is Blumhouse and A24. But they're starting.
Robbie, you saw The Witch, right?
Yeah, I like that one. It's got a lot of mixed reviews.
The Black Goat.
No, I haven't seen a new horror film in a while.
Yeah,
except for like Us.
The like The Witch, the
Brightburn,
the Black Coat's Daughter.
Yeah.
Like that's another good one too.
So, I got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah, like a lot of the I just really enjoy their stuff. So I mean, if you watch the A24 stuff, you can kind of figure out where my love of horror movies comes and what I turn towards.
Hell yeah, we all got that niche. We all got that niche for sure on what we love. That's what's so great about this. We get a bunch of us to bring our minds together and see what different thoughts we have and different aspects we can take from all these movies. But man, I will see you guys next Friday. Thank you guys all for coming and hanging out. This was absolutely awesome. I love doing the top fives with Robbie and Brooks and Mike. That was absolutely a lot of fun to see what we all had in mind. So
it was fun.
You guys have a great rest of your weekend, and we will see you guys later. Peace out.
Station.